Well, hello there, and welcome to our little lightning talk. My name is Barbara Thompson. I'm the Early Engagement Manager for Early Production Systems in North and Latin America, and I'm joined today by Farid, the Head of Front-End Engineering for Baker Hughes Worldwide. And we want to talk a little bit about what's so important about early engagement. So I would start with Mo. What do you think is the importance of front-end engineering and how the vendor-led approach makes this important?
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Barbara. What a great topic. I guess the idea of early engagement spans a number of things. Spans how operators, how the whole supply chain works together in enabling projects. It spans an idea and a landscape for innovation early in projects. So if we think about three key elements of projects, the first one is exploration, the second is development, and the third is execution. The first two is what denotes engagement early, is what denotes that enablement aspects of projects. So it can span exploration, discovery. It can span all the conventional front-end aspects of projects, such as concept development and feed and so on and so forth, prior to execution. The second part of your question is about the vendor-led. I mean, again, the discussion about a vendor, it's a provider for technology, it's a provider for solution, again, to enable those projects. So the more we're seeing now projects happening, being enabled, the more leadership the operators and the decision makers are giving the vendors in terms of space to innovate and to work together. So that's the vendor-led aspect of projects. So the importance of it is how the innovation early on in the project, how the requirement for thinking differently comes to enable projects. And we can talk about that later. But I mean, from your perspective, Barbara, and I know you work a lot with our customers, are you seeing a lot of appetite, more appetite for engaging early with our clients, with operators worldwide?
You know, that's an interesting question because operators are seeing the complexity of projects, the new environment that we're in, and they're wanting a number of things that they know business as usual is not going to produce. So they're very open to having our team come speak with them very early, even during drilling, talk about things that we've done before, talk about aspects of their project that we may have seen before, and that we can apply a number of different, both commercial and technical opportunities here. But there's a number of these opportunities we can apply to their projects that will improve the outcome. They're going into frontier areas they've not worked in before. They're going into countries they've not worked in before. And they realize that the totality of what we can do at Baker Hughes provides it's a lever for them to pull, right? It's an opportunity for them to prove the outcome in a world that you don't know what's coming around the corner next. And we want to help them get to that point. You know, and speaking about that, we provide a lot of innovation. Mm-hmm. So what do you think in early engagement sparks innovation?
Yeah, I guess innovation is the thing that everyone is talking about now. It's the ability to do something different, to enable in a different way. And when I think of innovation in projects and enabling projects, I think of two strands, Barbara. I think of the technical innovation, technology innovation. So when we engage early, we're partners, we're collaborators. We enable through that technical innovation. So if I think of a key metric for our business, for example, we're seeing 30% of all our activities within the front-end domain of our business going towards what we call technology trend analysis. That's looking at technologies that are happening in the next 5 years plus to enable projects happening there. That's early, but that's the idea of thinking, where are the technology gaps? How can we enable this project by thinking completely outside the box? It's not even a project yet, it's just merely a discovery, or even before that. So the idea of thinking of technology gaps in a clear landscape, clear slate to enable through technology, I think is a great part of what defines our fabric as Baker Hughes as a technology company. The second aspect is the commercial innovation as well. Well, you know, when we work in a collaboration with our partners, with our operators, it's important to think about how can we work together better? How can we enable more risk and reward mechanism? How can we enable that partnership truly through the commercial aspects as well? Again, different than doing that through a transactional tendering and execution approach, where we think early and we say, okay, to enable this project, let's think about working collaboratively in some sort of a different mechanism. Talk about it, make it happen. So for me, those two aspects of innovation are great when they are realized through an early engagement. And I think, you know, from your perspective as well, we talk a lot about early engagement, and you have great ideas about what really is a potent early engagement, you know, with an operator. How do you define that?
I think you need to establish credibility. You've been able to do that before. you'd establish the trust that you're looking at the whole project and what's best for the project, which is ultimately best for both Baker Hughes and the operator.
Absolutely.
And by establishing that trust and having those ideas, one of the things I'm really excited about with the vendor-led solutions is the archetypes that we've put together. So we've actually pre-designed at a very high level some frameworks for, are you in shallow water? Are you in deep water? Is this harsh? Are you very far from the market? Is this gas? Is this oil? We've pre-thought about a lot of those things. And because we have within our arsenal, we have structured products, we have special technologies that we're applying, say like all electric, long distance tiebacks, at high flow rates. All those things are in our toolkit. Also, the flexible partnerships, I think they appreciate when we can come with a partner and we're locked in arms and we want to bring that operator in as part of that partnership. And when they appreciate that we're really doing that, then we produce the certainty that they really need. They want to lower their risk, and we want to help them lower their risk. So when building that trust is so much more important than anything else. You know, and thinking about that, have you had any experience or case studies where applying the front end and this vendor-led approach has improved outcomes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as I say, I mean, we're very proud of that approach that we're taking with operators in enabling projects. And I can give you an example of a recent project we've worked on where, you know, to give some parameters, it's a new development. It's an oil development, heavy oil requiring artificial lift, tied back into a floating production unit. The project itself is logistically and geographically challenged because of the location, which put the economics of that project in some sort of a challenge. So we were approached as partners again and engaged as partners with three key aims. The first is to really try and help move the economic needle of that project, and I'll come to that in a minute again. The second is reducing the total expenditure of the project, and that's important. That's the front expenditure, the capital expenditure, but also the operational expenditure. And the third, again, back to the commercial modeling and how we can work differently in there. So we've deployed that systems thinking. We've deployed it beyond just the equipment or the kit. We deployed it from the very early, from drilling and from exploration all the way to decommissioning. We looked at the whole project holistically very early on. We've deployed some new technologies, and again, technology enablement. We're bringing in technology that is typically used for gas to control the inflow well, to produce better through the well, so improving the recovery component. We've looked at the layouts and linked the size of the equipment to the operation and the intervention requirements via the installation. So again, CapEx via OpEx. And we've looked at phasing the project so that a number of phases can be consequenced, so realizing the economics in a different way and commercially working in a different way. So all that together was built into our systems thinking, into our vendor-led system approach that you've just discussed there, Barbara. And just to give you some outcomes quickly, we've managed to put 100% more NPV on that project. And when we talk about NPV, it's a combination of CapEx and a combination of production recovery as well, because one on its own would not be able to provide that. We've provided up to 6 months of schedule recovery or schedule de-risking on that project through, again, thinking of phasing, thinking of installation, thinking of intervention and design in a different way. And again, through that component of thinking of the layout, we've managed to reduce the CapEx and OpEx together by up to 10% of the project. So schedule, NPV, CapEx and OpEx recovery. So this approach in engaging early, in enabling through a system is real, it's there. Our operators love it and they want to be on board, and we like it day in, day out, Barbara. So back to you.
You know, Mo, I could listen to you talk about this forever. We have just scratched the surface and you're so passionate about this. You know, if you want to learn more about this, please visit bakerhughes.com /Subsea Connect TV.